Hello everyone, welcome back to another Godot tutorial, and in this one I'm actually going to be showing you how to do this sort of like lerping thing, like forcing your character to look at something. I don't know if you've seen any of the Chillers Arts games. In those games you have the character go into like a cutscene and then just like look at something, and like sometimes your camera just sort of like, I don't know, snaps back to where it was, but in these games the camera just like stays there. Now, I have done a similar tutorial before in Unity and Unreal Engine, but I haven't done a tutorial like this in Godot yet. So in order to actually make this sort of thing happen, first of all, let's just create a brand new 3D scene, and let's put in a CSG box, and let's make it a ground. There we go, that seems to be pretty good. So now all we need to do is, actually, let's just save the scene whilst we're at it. So let's just call this scene because why not? And now let's go into a different scene, or create a new scene, and let's go for other node, and let's type in character body 3D, and let's just rename this to player for now, and let's put in a camera 3D, and click back on the player, and then do a collision shape 3D, and let's do a capsule. Yeah, there we go. And now let's go onto the player thing and then create a new script and just call it player, though it would be best to create a folder called scripts, to keep everything neat and tidy. There we go. So open that and then create that. So of course this gives us like all of this functionality for the character body, player, 3D, whatever you like to call it. But over here, I have this entire script sort of copied into a notepad because I want to export this to like a scene that you can just add into your project each and every single time. But I can't do that, so all I have to do is just copy all of the script into this. So just replace. So right, okay, let's just copy all of this, copy, and then go into here, and then Control A, Control V to paste and replace everything. And now at the moment it's not going to work because we first need to go to project settings, and then input map, and then put in your input. So let's just do this. Okay, so now that I've put in all of my inputs, it will now be able to like register our movement and stuff like that. And first of all, let's just create another action. Let's just call it action because why not? And let's put this to like maybe E or something, or maybe even space. It doesn't really matter, to be fair. And let's just replace this with action for now. There we go. So just save that. Oh, yeah, first of all, let's just actually save this scene, this separate scene called player. Let's just save it as, well, player. And just to keep things even more organized, let's create a new folder and call it prefabs, because even though this is a scene, it's more like a prefab that you can reuse over and over. So prefab, and just save it like that, nice and tidy. Okay, so what we have here is we have this whole like smooth look thing to force your character to look at a certain marker or certain object or certain target or whatever. So to be fair, you don't actually need to understand all of the code that is happening here, because it is quite a lot of code here. You don't need to understand any of it. All you need to do is just paste the script into here, and then create this sort of function down here called function cutscene, and make sure you do is looking is equal to true, and call this, because if your is looking is equal to true, then it will actually disable your looking, it will disable your mouse control, and then you just call smooth look at, and then use this, the await get tree create timer. What this does is it creates a timer and waits 4 seconds, and then it will delete the timer, and then it will resume your control, and then it will make is looking equals false. Now all you need to do then is just put in your own key, action, whatever you like to call it, here, and then you are basically good to go. Now we're back into this scene. Now we need to go to prefabs and then player, and then just place it on top of the Node 3D. There we go. So then it will just be in this scene like that, and it'd be best to actually change the material of the box. There we go. We can now see our player a little bit better. So now let's just put it up there so that it's properly on top of it. And now nothing's going to happen still because we have this look target over here, and actually in the script you need to make sure that you've got look target. I mean, it's already in the script, so you don't actually need to worry about that, but just make sure that you've got that there. So now in the scene, just get like a random target. So let's just type in mesh instance, because why not, and then box mesh, and just put that up in the air because, and now go to player and then put this mesh in. Well, you don't even need to put the objects. You can just, like, I don't know, type in marker or something like that, put that on top, and well, first of all, let's just put the mesh instance into the field. Now let's just save it, and now let's go ahead and play our scene. Not sure why it's doing that. Okay, so I realized why I realized why it was not working. So I forgot to put collision on this CSG box. It's a simple mistake. I usually forget to do something like that. So let's go ahead and play the scene. And now, here we are. Okay, so we are moving about. We've got the cube over there. So now if we just, I don't know, look away from it and then press E, we look at it. And now we can continue moving. So we are able to just look at it like that with a simple key press and done. Now, for example, if you want to actually make a cutscene so that if you want to be like looking at something and looking at something else and then looking at something else, then all you really need to do is just go on to, make like an area 3D node and then create a collision shape for it, of course, and then box shape, and just so that we can actually see what we're, bumping into, let's create a mesh instance and call that a box mesh as well, and let's put this area 3D like over here, sure. So now let's create a script. Let's call this look trigger. Let's just call it look trigger, if I can even spell to save my own life. Look trigger, okay. And yep, that's in the scripts. Nice. So we've got this now, and now let's go back to the Area 3D node and let's make a body entered signal. And because I love this, you can just type in player entered and then it's completely fine. So and I did it in the wrong place. Damn. Okay, so make sure that you're actually connecting to the right script, everybody. That was my bad. Okay, so player entered. There we go. So now, if we do if body dot name is equal to player, now you can to make sure that this is done correctly, you should really do this. So if body dot has method and type in cutscene, then if the body does have that method, then just type in body dot cutscene. There we go. And then let's see how this all pans out. So let's go ahead and walk into it, shall we? Just as simple as that. Just keep on walking into it and done. Okay, so for example, if you actually wanted to make an actual cutscene and not rely on your player character to make the cutscene, then all you would need to really do is you would need to reference your player on ready var player whatever, and then when you enter the cutscene, then yeah, just type in cutscene here and your function cutscene here. So is looking, so because you're referencing the player here, you are using the player, getting the is looking, and then turn it to true, and then player smooth look at. So it is like the other cutscene in your player script, but you're just referencing the player right here. So it should all work exactly the same as well. Why am I always looking at the floor? It's kind of weird. But anyway, let's go ahead and go over to here, and just like that. And if you want to like change where your target is, then all you would need to do is create like a timer, and then teleport your targets to a different position, and then do the smooth look at again. And that is what you would need to do. So that is how you do it, everybody.